something to ask you.
What can I do for you?
Well, I don't know if you know, but my dad died when I was young. Actually, he disappeared. He never came back from one of his explorations 15 years ago.
I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Yeah, I don't want your pity, okay? It's not about that. What I mean is, I've never managed to find out what kind of mission he was on and where he had gone. I know he was close to Scott. He was probably even his best friend. That old crazy man doesn't want to tell me anything. He says he wants to protect me. Look, I'll just cut to the point. I was wondering if you'd maybe look in his dispensary for me. See if you could find any of my father's notes or letters or...
I don't know, Amelia. Scott's like a father to me. Then besides, you know he's almost always there. How would I even do it?
I'm not asking you to break in or steal nothing. Just keep him busy. And while you are there, you know, just flip through files. I'm sure he kept letters between him and my dad. He's not one to throw anything away.
All right. I'll try to make him leave, but if I don't find anything...
Yeah, I won't blame you. But I know that you're going to find something.
So, da sind wir wieder in unserer kleinen süßen Basis. Ich guck mal eben, was wir machen müssen. Alles. Haben wir jetzt eigentlich Tag oder Nacht? Wir haben Nacht. Das heißt, wir können diese eine Mission abschließen. Wir könnten... Moment. Wir haben Nacht. Heißt, wir können diese Mission abschließen. Jawohl, da ist er auch schon.
Hey, you John Labor?
That depends. What's this about?
You alright? Look a little worse for wear.
Oh yeah, never better. What do you want?
A young woman worked around here. Name was Sarah.
Your girl's gotten popular. A lot of people looking for her these days. What's it to you?
Charisma.
Just a guy trying to help her out. What do you say?
Yeah, alright. That girl could use all the help she could get. Now, I tried. I tried not to tell him where she was at, but I felt like it only takes so much before he breaks. You follow? I felt like it only takes so much. Sarah wanted out of her family, away from her bitch mother, out of the city, away from the underworld, out of abundance, to a world of hope is all. A new start. Is that too much to want? No. So she headed off to the exchange to find a smuggler, or anyone offering hope. But thanks to me, she probably got those assholes all over her by now. I tried to keep my mouth shut. Y'all really tried. You gotta go get her first, mister. She's a good girl. So go on now. You find her, and you help her.
Kehre nachts zurück. Haben wir gemacht. Eine Frage haben wir auch gemacht. Finde das vermisste Mädchen. Also ist sie irgendwo in der Börse. Guck mal auf der Karte. Ich suche es. Ah, wir müssen Scotts Besitz durchsuchen. Finde das vermisste Mädchen. Okay. Kann ich erst später machen. Okay, die Börse können wir... Okay, das Mädchen scheint irgendwo hier zu sein. Dann gehen wir jetzt mal zu Scott Seeker. Wenn das liegt schon nämlich auf dem Weg. Dann können wir nämlich 2 Fliegen mit einer Klappe schlagen.
Hello, Scott. My captain told me that she wanted to see you.
Is it related to you? Are you sick?
No. Not that I know of. She didn't tell me why.
Oh, well, should I take my pouch then? It's an important question. I should still take it though, but it's a little heavy. All right, I'm leaving without it.
Da er jetzt weg ist, können wir seine Sachen durchsuchen.
I think I have a problem with going through your friend's things. I hope whatever you're looking for, it's worth it.
I'm trying to find information about the past. It's personal, okay?
Forget it. Couldn't understand. The officers, they aren't like this. They're above all that.
So, wir haben jetzt die Informationen, also können wir auch noch eben jetzt hier fix das abschließen. Hey Süße, bin da.
Hello, Mancer.
Hello.
Den Brief an Scott zurückbringen.
I found some of your father's letters.
I knew it. Tell me.
Most of the correspondence was friendly. They were very close. However, there was some tension between them over time. Some letters gloss over an expedition that they had done together, but what surprised me the most is when your father talks about a boy who was actually Scott's son. The last letter I found is a bit bizarre. I didn't really understand what he meant.
What did he mean? Do you remember?
Your dad begged Scott to stop the madness, warning that his wife's divorce was only the beginning of what he would lose if he couldn't face the truth. That it was too late for his son. He seemed to think Scott was on the verge of self-destruction.
It's true that it's rather mysterious. Scott, a son. Did you know?
No, he never told me about him. He obviously lost him. No doubt it's still a touchy subject.
We have to find out what this is all about. You have to ask his wife. Did my father really mean to interfere in his family drama? Maybe that's why he disappeared? Please, Zachariah!
Rede mit Scotts Erzfrau. Okay, machen wir das. Information über Orte. Orte, die sie schon entdeckt hat.
You must have traveled a lot. Could you tell me more about what you discovered?
You know, when I'm being sent out to explore, it's for prospecting. I drive around, take samples, map out the area, that kind of thing. I discovered 2 mines last year. We'll put them into service once we connect them with the shadow paths. Wow, it doesn't sound as exciting now that I think about it. But I don't care. Despite all of this, I can go almost anywhere. I see landscapes that others will never see, and sometimes I stumble across amazing places. I'm not doomed to remain under a shell of metal.
Die Schuppen.
Can you tell me more about the sheds?
You're quite curious. That's where we park, repair, and pamper the rovers. They're under close watch because we can't take any chances with the slums all around. The Vori could sneak in and steal stuff. But we couldn't put them elsewhere anyway. We're not gonna cross the city every time we need to get out. Anyhow, if there's something you should do when you get into my sheds, it's this. When you come in, don't touch anything. Don't get close to the rovers, and if you want something, you ask me.
Über Orte. Ne, Person. Nach dem Gefährten fragen.
What do you think of Jeff?
He's kind of a simpleton, don't you think? Too much of an ass-kisser. I wonder if he's that straightforward. Anyway, he's just a hick trying to get promoted.
Scott.
What do you think of Scott? You know him well.
Know him well? That's an exaggeration. He doesn't actually say much about himself. Most of the time, he's on his own planet, and before he gets back down to Mars, well, we lose radio communication. He's nice. He regularly checks in to see how I am. He used to bring me gifts when I was young, but he can't help commenting on the chances I take and all. It pisses me off. I like him, but he's not my father, I mean.
Dave.
Can I ask you about David?
Well, still shell-shocked by the front. I've seen hundreds of them. He blames the whole planet. He's probably not such a bad guy, but by blaming everybody, he pisses everybody off.
Woher kommt mir ihre Synchronsprecherin bekannt vor? Weiß ich, aber woher kommt mir ihre Synchronsprecherin wirklich bekannt vor? Gut, dann suchen wir jetzt mal nach dem vermissten Mädchen jetzt. Warte mal. Rede mit Scotts Ehefrau. Das ist aber rein theoretisch auch in der Nähe. Das ist auch in der Nähe. Das heißt, ich könnte 3 Fliegen in der Klappe schlagen, sozusagen. Moment. Da lang. So, da ist Scotts Ehefrau. Gehen wir erstmal dorthin. Und reden mal mit der Alten.
How? Why? I'm still shaking.
Oh nein, Gangster.
dare not confront our army face to face. Instead, they target our weak, our feeble.
War's das?
Ain't no shame.
Ach so, das waren unsere Leute. Wo war ich jetzt hin? Hä, wo war ich jetzt? Ach, hier lang. Da hoch. Warum sind hier alles so kompliziert aufgebaut? Die wimmeln sogar von der Frau, vom Haus der armen Frau herum.
I'm sorry, Deb. Are you Angela Seeker, Scott's wife?
Ex-wife. What did the drunk do this time?
Nothing bad. He's a friend.
A friend? Right.
Just looking for some information on one of his friends, Mark, and your son.
Get out. Get out! What right do you have coming around digging up the past?
Charisma. Überzeugen.
I'm not here to make you relive your pain, and I'm sorry if that's what it looks like, but I'm here for Mark's daughter. She sent me to try to figure out what happened to her father.
I'm sorry that young woman's suffering the pain of loss, too. But I can't drown in mine anymore. I won't. Won't talk about it again.
Wissenschaft.
Listen, I think Mark's disappearance was tied to Scott's research, and your son. And I know you were a researcher too, so I'm hoping you'll be able to help me understand the research better, and maybe even find your old friend.
The drive to dissect even the smallest details, to try to understand how and why. That thirst once drove me too, but I let it go. There was no well deep enough to satisfy that thirst. I was never as involved as Scott. In truth, I began to give up my work once we had our son. The focus of my research had been the study of animal mutations with the goal of vaccine production. And always wondered if, because of that, I had been the conduit that carried the infection to my son. Scott was more interested in genetics and its medical applications. The second our son showed signs, though, I completely stopped my research. If I hadn't told Scott, he would never even have noticed. And his answer was to swear he could find a cure. He really believed that with his work in genetics and mine in vaccination, that we could save our son. But I was too devastated to help him. All I wanted to do was spend every second with our son before he was taken away from us. Which, of course, happened. And Scott and Mark took off on a wild goose chase that he was sure would end in a cure. I didn't get it. There wasn't anything he needed that he didn't have access to in his lab. And while he was off, I was alone, and waited, and waited, and eventually got tired of it. So I asked for a divorce. And then they finally came back, with nothing to show for it. But soon Mark took off again to find what I guess were raw materials for research that Scott swore he couldn't find here. And that was the last I saw of him. That's all I know. I never found out what their research was on, and honestly, I just want to forget it all. Please now, can you leave me be?
Okay, dann haben wir jetzt die richtige Information,
Hell,
die
I
wir
can
bekommen.
feel for what the old man's been through. I've known some folks myself who went through the same thing.
So, dann gehen wir jetzt mal
Breaks couples up, you know. Stress of never being able to have
das
kids.
vermisste Mädchen suchen.
Why never...
Lieutenant?
Wie hast du? Okay, da. Jetzt müssen wir in diese Richtung, um das vermisste Mädchen zu finden. Und wenn wir das gemacht haben, gehen wir nochmal zu Emilia zurück. Hä? So. Ah, wir sind fast da. Ah, warum sind die Slums auch so kompliziert?
Hey! Hell you doing here, huh? What do you want?
Nothing from you. I'm here for...
Gal? Great. Sorry she's ours. Maybe you can come back later after we're done with her. You can get the hell out now and never come back! Or do you need me to help you out permanently?
Please! Please, sir!
Shut your fucking mouth, bitch! Fuck, your lucky damaged goods are worth less, or I'd drop a hammer on your teeth!
Yeah, I think we've got a little misunderstanding. I need to talk to the girl, and you don't really have a choice here.
Is that so?
Thank you! Thank you so much! I can't even tell you how much I owe you. What they would have done to me if you hadn't shown up. But I need to get out of town now. For good.
Hilfe anbieten.
If you really want to leave, I know a traveling merchant who may be willing to help you. He's in the exchange quarter and he owes me a favor or two. Tell him I sent you. It'll be a lot safer than trying to find an honest smuggler.
Really? Why? Thank you. Thank you. I will never forget you.
Rede mit Fiorello über das Mädchen, okay. Dann werden wir wahrscheinlich damit reden müssen. Können wir noch der Mutter Bescheid sagen? Nee, offenbar nicht. Können wir das nicht. Gut. Dann gehen wir jetzt mal zurück zu Emilia. Das ist gerade auf dem Weg. Oh, ich hätte auch einen ganz anderen Weg nehmen können. Nein, ich musste einen großen Umweg laufen. So, Emilia, ich bin zu Hause.
Hello, Mancer.
Hello?
Erhalten Informationen über den Vater
I
mitteilen.
talked to Scott's ex-wife.
So, what did she say?
It's an awful story. Her son. Anyway, their son was struck by mutation. They took him away from them, of course, but it made Scott go crazy, and he was convinced that he could find a remedy. He asked for your father's help, so they left together, and were gone for a long time. Their exploration apparently didn't lead to anything concrete for the boy, and Scott descended into madness. And then one day, Mark left. His ex thinks that it was to bring back something useful for his research, and he never came back.
Shit. So my father's disappearance is related to that poor kid? It's really awful what they must have gone through. That explains a lot about why he's so crazy, and also why he behaves as if we were his kids. Thank you, Zach. That doesn't answer all of my questions, far from it, but I have a better grasp of what happened. My father disappeared by helping his best friend, who was going through a rough patch and wanted to heal his child. It's a sad but beautiful story, isn't it? I'm gonna think about all this. Thank you again.
Keine Ursache. Ja, ein Kompliment machen.
You're not like other girls, are you?
Is that supposed to be a compliment? Or are you being a wise ass?
Ihre Karriere.
You took on a tough job. Driving places you don't know, taking soldiers on missions, scouting the front lines.
It's easy to do anything when you love what you do. I love not being stuck under a roof. Getting out there, you know? You call it tough, I call it lucky.
Exactly why I said you're different. Average person, girl or guy, lives on the safe side. They may not love the city, but they know it. So, they stay there.
Life's what you make of it, and I want to make it an adventure. So if you're looking for some dangerous escapades, I know a girl.
Think I may just take her up on that.
Gut. Ja, dann würde ich sagen, wir gehen in der nächsten Folge mal zur Börse zurück. Bis dahin könnt ihr euch gedulden und bis morgen warten. Ciao!